Hey guys, welcome to the video. And last time I tried to repaste my GPU, but as I remember, it failed. The only thing that made a difference was actually increasing the fan speed. So this time I bought some thermal pads, and I'm gonna see if maybe replacing them on the VRAM and the VR, the voltage regulators, would make a difference. So yeah, stay tuned for that. And as you can see, these are the temps before I did the pasting, and what, we're in like 30 seconds into the video and already this thing is like boiling. So it needs help. It needs a lot of help. Come to the channel. Long story short, my GPU is overheating and I need to replace the thermal paste and the thermal pads. Problem is, I've been scouring the internet to try and find out what's the exact size for the thermal pads that I needed here, and it's just been a roller coaster. So what I did is I just saw in a Reddit post that the ones I should use for the voltage regulators is 0.5 millimeters, and for my VRAM is actually 1.5 millimeters. Now I don't know how accurate this is or how good this is gonna be, which is why I've been so hesitant to actually make this video, because if I mess it up, I basically busted my GPU, and this is my main GPU. I do have a backup, but it's a GT740 4GB version, and that's not all that good. It'll just basically allow me to see the screen, and that's about it. So that's why I've been really hesitant about taking this open, about doing the replacement here. So there's nothing else to do, bro. Just, it's overheating. If I don't try to do something, it's gonna eventually break, so might as well. So I guess this is also in part a tutorial on how to open this thing back up. So step one, make sure that this clamp over here is, this ribbon cable is taken apart, because when you pull this PCB board and the fan casing away, you don't want to rip this thing here, because then you'll have a whole nother issue. So what I like to do is take a flat screwdriver like this one and just push it here, this part here, push it down and just sort of like nudge this thing up and out, right, slowly. Don't be too aggressive, take your time. Okay, I'm just gonna skip ahead because I need full concentration for this thing. Okay, so once you have it disconnected like that, right, as you can see, it's no longer fixed to the thing. You can even see the pins underneath. What you're gonna do is open up these 4, 5, 6 screws. Okay, once you've removed all the screws, and again it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws, you're just going to basically pull these two things apart. Now it's probably stuck together because thermal paste can be sticky and whatever, but do be careful, don't damage these pipes as well, because again it'll be a whole nother saga if you do. So what I'm gonna try and do is actually just pull it from the side. Now mind you, if you do that, it's probably gonna tear the thermal pads or thermal compound that's attached to your VRAMs, which is exactly what happened with me. But at this point I already know they are busted, so it's not much I can do about that. As you can see, the reason I was like, remove this ribbon cable from here, so that when you pop it open, you don't damage it by ripping it away. And as you can see, here we are. These things, as you can see, are completely toast. No wonder my GPU has been basically cooking. What I'm gonna do is measure the thickness of this using my vernier to see which one it is. Is it the 0.5 or is it, because I'm now suspecting that the VRAM over here is the 0.5 instead of this one, but I don't know. So let me just grab this and actually measure the thickness of this thing. Yeah, I think that's 1 millimeter. Shoot, it's too big. It's actually even less than that because they get a little bit squeezed. And then these guys over here, the ones that were on the VRAM over here, what are they? They are, let's say the VRAM ones are 0.5 millimeters. I don't know if you can tell. See, it's closer to 0.5 for the VRAM. So, which means that this thing here is actually opposite. So, this is not for the VRAM. It's actually for the voltage regulators, which will be these guys over here next to these capacitors. And then the actual VRAM will be this one. Right, I'm actually labeling these because I'm probably gonna forget. Now then, we go over to removing the VRAM, the pads on the VRAMs actually. And so what I'm gonna do is take a little stick, for reason being it's non-conductive, and this is gonna break before I break that. So this is just a matchstick actually, and I need a sharp tip. So what I'm gonna do is actually just sort of like shave away a little bit over here using this knife, and yeah. Okay, so I've shaved it, and as you can see, it's pretty thin. So I'm just gonna use that to remove the one that's already here. So just be gentle. You don't wanna mess anything up, and don't use metal tools, in my opinion. But hey, if you just have it like that, coolio. So yeah, basically that's just what you're gonna do. As you can see, it's pretty shredded. I was actually thinking of buying like thermal, I don't know what the name of it is. It's like a jelly kind of, sort of. Can't remember what they call it. Thermal, it's not thermal paste though. It's something else. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have dumped all of this on top of a towel, because now they're sort of like in the fibers, but whatever. And then tissue, alcohol, clean those bad boys up. Don't worry, if you're using alcohol, you don't need to worry about getting all the other stuff wet, because alcohol vaporizes pretty quickly, pretty easily, so you should be fine. Now that you're done cleaning this, it's time to do the same to this. What you're gonna do is remove the thermal pads over here. As you can see, these things are just dry and crusty, and they were practically just asking to be removed at this point, because I don't know how old this GPU is, but it's safe to assume that these are the factory ones. So see how they just break away. Now the only reason I'm being so careful with it is because I actually want to measure this one again with my vernier, just to get an idea of what's going on. There we are. It's a nice fat piece. So where's my, here we are. Yeah, this one reads 1.5 millimeters. Can you tell? See where the 0 is? It's like right there, 1.5 millimeters. So I was correct. These bad boys are gonna go on here. Then these ones are gonna go on the VRAM. Okay, let's clean the other side now. So I've gotten the area cleaned up and everything. It's now time to put the pads on here. So I don't want to handle the pads with my bare hands in case I contaminate the surface or whatever, because some pads might be sticky. I don't know. So I don't know. I don't know what to expect, so I'm just gonna use these tweezers. This is the 0.5 millimeter one, which will go on top of the VRAMs. So let's see. Oh, okay. Okay, I see. So originally, I thought this blue thing was the pad itself, but no, it's actually this white thing, and it's just covered with like plastic. So there's the top layer of plastic, which is this blue one, and then there's a transparent bottom plastic, as you can see. And yep, this looks like sticky. It looks sticky. So what I'm gonna do now, please be careful when you're using metal stuff on these things. What I'm gonna do now is just measure, actually, still be careful. Okay, so what I could do in order to measure the thermal pads needed is, you see how there's sort of like an imprint, like a shadow of what was there, sort of like you can see that this is the size of the old thermal pads and stuff like that there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my thingy here, my vernier, just to measure the size of this. So the first one, I'm gonna give it a little bit of room as well. The first one, lengthwise, is 3 point, is what? Is 3.15 millimeters. As you can see, 3.15 millimeters. I'm just gonna cut a piece that's 3.2 millimeters. Now when you're cutting, remember, you're not trying to cut the blue thing, you're trying to cut the white, this part. So it'll be that. Okay, so 3.1 millimeters. I'm just gonna measure that out. I'm just gonna make it 3.2 actually, and just 3.3, just to 3.2, not 3.3. I'm gonna make it 3.3 just to have enough room to play with. So since I've got that, I'm trying to think what to use to like mark where I'm gonna cut, because I have a pair of scissors over here. Sorry, let me just adjust the angle. So what I'm gonna do is just make a little nick over there, right? I'm gonna just keep this held like that. Try to keep it, you see, like over here, I'm trying to line it up so that my cut will be as straight as possible using the scissor. So then from this side, I'll come in and just sort of just cut just a little bit, just as a mark really. And then I'll go back here, measure the size of this, and to me it looks like 1.6 millimeters, but I'm gonna make it 1.7, maybe 1.8. So here it is, 1.8 millimeters. Put it here. I'm just gonna put it here like that. Yeah, good enough. And I'm gonna make my cut. There's definitely better ways of doing this. and if you find them, use them. Okay, made a little cut. You may not see it, but trust me, it's there. Just gonna, okay, then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make sure these things are straight. So I'm gonna take the vernier, measure it so that it's parallel with this part here. Make sure that this is wide enough. Sort of take this and just, no, that's not gonna work. Should I cut using this? Well, it's not cutting, but it left a mark. I don't know if you can see it there. Yeah, see that dent over there? I'll use that as a guide, and then I'll go ahead and do that again with this side. I'm just gonna do that. Okay, so I have that square dent, and I'm just gonna cut it out. Okay, so now I have my first piece. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do that, copy it here, and I just lay it on top like that because I'm gonna need another piece. But first we need to confirm that the measurements are the same. Oh, actually, we just do this. Just check it out. So see that the size is good on that side, and this way might be a bit big, but you know, it's okay. But actually see if that fits over on this. So yeah, that's definitely gonna cover the pieces, as well as this way. It's definitely gonna cover. Again, we test for these ones. Yep, definitely gonna cover. And again, it's gonna cover. So this size is good. So what I'm gonna do is just take that size, just put it like that over here, hold it down. I'm just using this to mark, just small mark over here. I'll straighten it out later. And then small mark over here. Cool. And then I'm basically using my vernier right now as a ruler. Okay, so basically I'm gonna do this exact same thing, but for this thing here, for these ones over here, the voltage regulators, and I'll be back in a bit. Okay, so this thermal pad that I got, it comes pre-cut, and these cuts are not to the specifications I need, because for this section over here I need like 6.9 by, let me see this one here, 6.9 by 0.7 millimeters, right? Trust me, 0.7 millimeters, and I don't have that. You see these gashes and cuts already, they come pre-cut, and some of them are like small squares and stuff. So I'm just gonna cook a plan for these. So I'm just gonna peel this back and just see what I'm working with. Okay, so it looks like each one is an individual square, as you can see. So what I'm planning to do is put an individual square on each one. But let me just measure these. So the lengthwise is not a problem, it's the width that I need to be careful of. I'm gonna just close this back up, measure it from this side using this, and the width is about 1.1 millimeters. yeah, 1 centimeter and 1 millimeter, and that's far larger than what we need, because what we need is just under 1, which is about like 0.7 millimeters. Not too bad. You know what, it's good. I'm just gonna put them on and then see what happens. So when you're putting them on, don't touch this thing. Just honestly, I prefer to take off the blue side, because why? I still have this transparent thingy, and then I just lay it on top. Actually, I should be using the tweezers. Let me hold. See how I'm holding this thing? I'm not touching the actual thing. I'm holding it by the plastic. Okay, so as I was saying, I'm holding it by the plastic, as you can see. I'm just gonna lay it on top as carefully as I can. There we go. And then I'm gonna peel off the plastic. Grab it by the corner. No. Gonna just make sure press it down to like make sure it's stuck on there, because it seems this thing is also stuck to the plastic. Then I'm gonna try and peel this clear plastic off. Ah, shoot. That's not working. But as you can see, it would cover everything. Okay, so I guess this will be the experimental piece to play around with and figure out how to do this thing. I'll be back. Okay, I think I figured out how to get these things off. So what you want to do is actually remove, for this brand, if you can even call this a brand, just whatever this is. So what you do is you actually take off the clear plastic part, transparent plastic first, because it is harder to remove and might make a messier job of it. So just this one, right, remove it, then carefully hold it here. Then you're gonna place it. Once you're done placing it, I like to just press it down a little bit, just to make sure it sticks a bit. And then just peel it off. Now this one here, I didn't rub it down. I'm just gonna do that now. Right, cool. Then now we move over to these channels. So what I'm gonna do is, for this part is, again, I'm gonna take off the clear plastic coat, clear plastic foam, and then, but I'm gonna do it like square by square. There we are, gotta cut an edge there. Once you catch an edge, just kind of pull at it. Ah, come on. All right, so since these ones are a bit thicker than I'd like, it's fine. I'll just grab one, place it over. So I guess I'll just put like one each higher place. Okay, so I've put them. Now it's time to just put everything back together. And yeah, I mean, the temperatures so far, they are performing a lot better. Rather, the incline in speed of the temperature is a lot slower than before, but it's still not satisfactory. I feel like it's because of the quality of the thermal pads that I'm using. Again, it's not a success. It's a 50-50, and I feel like I'd get more cooler temps from simply increasing the fan speeds. But I don't know. Okay, I'll try to. I don't know. I'll try to get better quality thermal pads and retry everything and see if that helps. You know, it'd be really funny if the reason that my PC is overheating is because of like poor airflow. If that's the reason, and I went through all of this just to find out that that's the reason, I'll just have to make peace with the fact that it's solved. But yeah, for now, these are the current temps. As you can see, it's still going well above 90, but it's not touching 100 as quickly as it used to. So it's a failure, but it's something.